Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. So Bitcoin closed the gap, even dropped a little bit under the gap, which was anticipated. But for the most part, altcoins have been holding pretty nicely. I just noticed my microphone is very, very close to my face. We have a lot to talk about, the current situation, a little bit update on the XRP ETFs, talk about how the market is kind of weird, right? But it's also normal. You'll understand. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Listen, I've been talking with the you know who. I had to retire that bit, if those who know what I'm talking about, because I don't want a 2-week vacation. I don't know how the algorithm is going to how to process that. Smash the like button. Currently, XRP is sitting at $2.14, down about 0.88% on the day. Bitcoin dropped all the way down to 89,000 level that we hadn't seen in a very long time. Of course, I mentioned a few days ago that Bitcoin had held at 100,000 for about 6 months, and of course, exactly the day later, it started, of course, going to that gap on the CME. We have closed the gap, right? So that is no longer a monkey on our back. If you didn't see the video last night where we talked about it. And interesting, lots of red here, of course, today. But if we look at since GMT time, there is some assets that are in the green right here on my list. So it's not a total, sell off. Solana's up 5%. Ethereum dipped under 3,000, which also hadn't been in those levels since July, but came above it slightly. We have, of course, Bitcoin over the 90,000 level after it dipped into the gap. Many people are looking at the gap as a juicy opportunity. Again, I don't know exactly what is going to happen, but if you are interested, our partner BYDFI will give the opportunity to take advantage of this situation. If you're interested, we also have a special group inside the free Telegram group. There is a special chat for whale traders that deposit over $5,000. I am there. A representative from BYDFI is there as well. So if you are interested, we have that special group. But the regular Telegram group is open for everybody. It's free and open. The special Telegram group is something extra. If you're interested, link is in the description. You get to my website here, and then you click on BYDFI, and then you can register there. Okay, but the special extra group is only for those special traders, okay? Extra whale traders. So if you're interested, link is in the description down below. I will get a commission. So thank you for that. Please, please, please trade responsibly. So a lot of people are talking about how potentially this could be a gap close and then flipperoo, right? Again, I don't know if that is going to happen. That is also, again, my opinion. I think that might happen as well. There are others that are saying that this is the golden pocket, and there's probability that off of the golden pocket, we shall potentially go down to the 75,000 level, like Orlando here, that is talking about this. Potentially, we're in the golden pocket here of the Fibonacci, and potentially we could go down to the lower level here of 74,000. That is a possibility as well. So again, we have to take into consideration that everything is on the table. Again, this is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Also, a reminder that there are a lot of imposters out there taking my image and my likeness and trying to fool people. Be very careful out there. I'm not DMing you. I'm not following you. I'm not asking you any questions. Those are imposters. Please be very careful out there. Okay. And again, the Telegram group is open, free to everybody. The one that is linked here in the description down below. Okay. So interestingly, the crypto market, lost a significant amount of value in the, last 24 hours. Of course, with Bitcoin going down. Actually, where's the fear and greed index? Yeah, back to 11. I thought it would be maybe a little bit lower, but for now, outside of price action, there isn't anything that is fundamentally wrong with the crypto market more than it was a few weeks ago. You could say, well, the uncertainty after the government reopening, and we don't know the economic data in the US, and we don't know what the Fed is going to do. But again, crypto is global, and a lot is fallen on what is happening in the US, for better or for worse, right? And so that's now the only fear outside of price action that could be, fearing people, the fact that the prices are pulling back. But something fundamentally hasn't changed, right? The government is still very pro crypto in the US. Technology is getting better, adoption is getting better, big money is coming in. We have, of course, the treasury companies, and we have the companies that are adding crypto to their balance sheet, and all that is happening, integration with all these big companies. So that hasn't changed. What has changed a little bit? The prices pull back, a little bit of fear. Again, you have to decide: are you an investor long term, or are you a trader? Are you a a day trader, a swing trader? I saw this from John Deaton. He's very big in the XRP community. He says he got Bitcoin for the first time late 2016. I remember riding it to 19,000 in September of 2017. Didn't get, didn't remove the position. I remember wishing I had, and got it back in it lower, but I waited because I'm not smart enough to time the market, right? I tried, I failed. In March 2020, it was also very ugly, and I remember getting some more at 7,500. It is not fun to experience these sell-offs and bear markets, but it will pass, right? These things have happened before. People that have been in the market for a while remember these things. The problem is that for people that are new to the market, right, me saying that really doesn't calm your heart that much, right? Because you're in it right now, right? But that's the market. It does what it does, and sometimes it pulls back and it closes the gap. Something that we anticipated that could happen. A lot of people in the comment section last night were, I remember you talking about this, Avi, and when I saw that it happened, I thought about you. Because this was a concern of mine over the past few months, that this would happen, because I experienced the previous pullback where everybody thought we're going to the moon, right here back in January of 2025, sorry. And then we pulled back all the way to 75,000. And again, when we ran up here, I was still careful, and I was cautious about that gap, and it happened. Okay. So again, we have to take into consideration that all possibilities can happen. We did see, though, Bitcoin dominance breaking down below 60. And it's interesting because something weird is happening right now. Usually when Bitcoin goes down significantly, altcoin market goes, right, it goes off a cliff. Bitcoin dropped sharply from 110 to 90 in just 14 days, but at the same time, Bitcoin dominance fell by 4%. In simple words, the others Bitcoin pairs, along with Bitcoin, have fully recovered from the October 10 crash. This tells us one thing very clearly: no one's panic selling altcoins right now. The entire move looked dominated by top-level players operating mainly in the top 10 coins, especially Bitcoin-driven. This could be a major internal swing of hands among large players, a mix of distribution, strategic accumulation for the next phase. The only hope is that right now Bitcoin dominance is falling and altcoins are holding strong, which is interesting. What could have happened, again, is maybe some of these companies that added Bitcoin to their balance sheet, or were some big whales that were accumulating Bitcoin, started pulling back a little bit. It's their first time, right? Because they're new and they freaked out. That could happen, right? So, and you could say, well, altcoins are already down significantly, so why should they, continue to, sell off? That is also a good explanation, right? You could say that, but the fact is that XRP is held pretty nicely, and if again you zoom out, right, XRP is still up 104% on the year. So it's all about where we were, where we've been, where we're going if you're long-term investing. Again, if you're short-term investing and it's day to day and what's happening and it's going down 10%, it's going up 10%, that's a totally different life. That's a totally different mindset. And it's totally, you have to be laser focused. You have to be, in the trenches, and you have to be happy with ups and downs because those are opportunities, right? And so this is the situation that we are in right now, and I think it will pass. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just how I'm feeling, my experience. If it goes down a little bit more, great. If it goes up, great. Again, I've told you this before on my long-term positions, long-term. 5, 10 years, I don't really care if XRP is at 216 or at 366 or at hopefully not, right? 1.6, because I'm long term investing and I have a plan in place. And yes, the numbers on your portfolio sell, but as long as you're in the position, it doesn't really matter. And that's what I've learned from investing over 15 years already, that I've seen ups and downs. I've seen March of 2020, where people were like, aren't you freaking out? Right? Your portfolio is probably down a significant amount. And I said, yeah, I've seen this before. The market usually recovers. I'm not stressing. I'm actually deploying, right? In April, when we were at the bottoms, I told you guys that I was deploying. So there's always going to be these mass fear events. And if you have the opportunity, you can take advantage of them. Does it mean that it won't continue to dip? No, maybe it continues to dip down. Maybe XRP breaks $2. Maybe Bitcoin goes down to 75,000. Yes, those are all possibilities, but I have a plan for that too. Okay, that's very important. Let's talk a little bit about, again, that's just my opinion. That's just what I'm doing. Okay, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. The word on the street was that 4 new XRP ETFs were expected to launch this week. Eleanor told us here that she's not sure that Franklin Templeton is about to drop today. We'll see if that happens. She thinks that it's supposed to happen next week, according to when they filed their S1 on the 4th. But again, if it happens today, if it happens tomorrow, next week, it's fine, right? we're not stressed for the ETFs. I'm not stressed for it. I think people that were stressed for it and were waiting for it and saying, "Oh, the price is going to do this and that." After this happens, they have a little bit egg on their face. We were a little bit smarter. We were a little bit cool, calm, and collected regarding the XRP ETFs. Yeah, right. So it will be very interesting to see how today plays out. If the market continues to have its little freak out, or do we see a recovery off of the gap and we see Bitcoin move back to a 100,000, and then potentially, right now we're at, the signals here are at on the moving averages, of course, are on this side here, but we know that very, very fast it can flip all the way to the other side. So we have to wait, anticipate, plan, take advantage, maybe get some winners, get some losers. If we're, day trading, swing trading, that's all part of the game. Even Orlando here, I follow him. He's very, very good. Everything that doing with stocks and stocks and options. He knows how to read the flows of the options in the market, right? And he gave like a confession here, saying, I've had some great positions lately and some really bad ones. Overall, a red month for me as of now after a great year. Thankfully, risk off enough and on time. That's the humility check this game gives you. Bouncing back is the best part of the markets. Hungrier than ever, right? My assets are down big, right, from the all-time high. If we just look at the number, but again, what I'm doing is a mix, right? I have short term, I have medium term, and I have a long term. Yes, the numbers might be down on the long term, but short term, we're taking advantage of the possibilities here. Okay. So again, this is just what I'm doing. This is what I've learned. This is my humility, my life experience. Again, you might want to do something else. You might be at a different age than me. You might be in a different situation than me. And every single person has to take that into consideration. Okay. Again, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Remember, I'm not contacting you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to DM me or to do anything. Those are imposters. Again, these are just my opinions. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Check out the free Telegram group in the description down below. It's open to everybody. We're trying to get at least 1,000 people. We're getting close. Every day there's like 20, 30 people are joining. So I think we'll get there. We'll get there. Also, drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond. And of course, don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.